And there's multiple of these orbs in our sky tonight, right here in Powell.
Another Delaware County caller saying he saw them over the roundabout on Sawmill at Bunty Station Road.
It looked like a UFO or something, then it turned its lights off and disappeared.
Moving pretty fast.
More Delaware County neighbors seeing the drones. These folks got video.
That's a drone.
And these people in Hilliard claim they saw the drones as well and caught something more. A loud boom. Then 15 seconds later, another. What is going on?
Drone sightings spreading across the country now. Officials confirmed that unmanned drones have been spotted recently near Hill Air Force Base in Utah. Now, information on the number of drones that were spotted, how close they flew to the base, hasn't been widely or publicly released.
They're monitoring the airspace and working with local authorities to track the drones. Though they won't share details, they say appropriate safety measures are being taken. Hill Air Force Base adds drones are not allowed on base.
Good evening. New unexplained drone sightings in Utah have led to fresh concerns here.
It's a question that continues to grow here about a series of sightings on the East Coast. News specialist Andrew Adams spoke with a couple of Utah eyewitnesses and an expert as well tonight.
Well, the people we spoke to characterize these encounters as anything from really weird to scary. And keep in mind, they happen at opposite ends of the Wasatch Front, West Haven down to Mapleton.
Look, there's 4 of them.
And now in Utah,
what are those?
eyes are also turning to the skies with unexplained sightings of groups of drones from Mapleton to West Haven.
Big, bright thing in the sky.
Air Force brass confirming to us that small unmanned aerial systems were spotted between December 13th and 14th. None of the incursions impacted base residents, facilities, or assets. We are taking all appropriate measures to safeguard Wright-Patterson and its residents. But the Air Force is not talking about what the objects were or where they came from. We asked state leaders about it. Ohio's Attorney General didn't seem too concerned.
Do our community members in Ohio need to be worried, right, Pat, even, closing their airspace due to this issue?
I have no idea.
To have hundreds of drones, forget the idea that there's thousands, but even hundreds of drones flying in an area that is likely near controlled and restricted space, and they're not able to see the registration number, does not make a lot of sense to me, because to get a waiver, you need to put your license and registration. The registration has to be on the drone where you can see it. So they should be able to go right to the owner.
I think you just made this all more bizarre for all of us.
I know, I'm not helping it.
Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle are putting new pressure on federal security agencies to get to the bottom of the mysterious drone sightings. There was another sighting this morning in Texas.
It's unclear exactly what this is, but it's causing folks in southeast Texas to scratch their heads.
I started seeing multiple lights moving across the sky. I've never seen anything like that.
On an otherwise quiet Wednesday night, Cheryl and Dave Bowman spotted what looked like drones flying in their area off the coast of the Bolivar Peninsula. You can see the small objects' bright-colored lights flashing in these videos they shared with us, moving toward the refineries and sparking their interest and speculation.
We would be curious, what would they be doing in that pattern and flying that way and that far from the Gulf over into that, what we think is a strategic area.
They weren't alone in that thought. Their Facebook post showing the mysterious objects causing discussion across our area.
We wanted people to know, because you keep hearing about New Jersey, and now all of a sudden, they're not just in New Jersey.
You and I talked this morning. I mean, our conversation is probably very much like the conversation all over the country, like what is going on? You happen to have some pretty in-depth knowledge, though, about these drones. And I know the big thing I took away from our conversation was, why do they need to be up at night?
Yep. So, Sandra, I'm going to make this very easy for your viewership. So let's first talk that a lot of the space is restricted and controlled. So if you are near an airport, you have to be not within 5 miles without a waiver. You can't be over populated areas. You can't be near a stadium like the Meadowlands without a waiver. You can't be near military bases without a waiver. So first, many of these commercial drones have to be getting waivers because you're between Newark, Teterboro, MetLife. There's a lot going on there. Waivers are not easy to get, let me just be clear. Number two, let's talk about use cases for drones. Inspecting solar farms, turbines, cell towers, package delivery, doing, disaster recovery, rooftop inspection, and I could go on, geo mapping, precision agriculture. All of these use cases take place during the day. All of that inspection and imagery and video is during the day. So let's talk about nighttime. Nighttime drones have only been legal for a short period, less than 2 years. Most commercial drones don't fly at night. There is really no reason. And the only reason to do it is certain type of inspection that uses either thermal imagery or maybe they'll use something like infrared imagery.
It's like their own little light show going on up there. It's the flashing red, green, and white lights.
Mysterious drone sightings seen on the East Coast are now being spotted here in the Pacific Northwest, specifically in Tacoma.
That's where we find Fox 13's Dave Detling, who talked with a couple who want to share the video they got over the weekend. So what are you hearing about the drone sightings in our area, Dave?
They say the drones that they saw yesterday in the night sky matches similar to the ones on the East Coast, and they too want to know where these drones came from.
They circled around that way.
Peering up at the stars in Pierce County,
coming up through here.
Kristen and Shane Elduin won't find any answers in the sky, but they will remember what they saw Sunday night that made them push record.
See if we can see them flying up in the sky, and sure enough, there was a bunch of them coming in from all sorts of directions.
When we were out here, probably saw 8 to 10 of them, I think, in just a span of maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
Why are they circling our house?
Cell phone video shows what the family says are drones in the sky, but they say these drones are much bigger than what we're used to.
First off, it's like their own little light show going on up there. It's the flashing red, green, and white lights. And then when you do get a shape of it, it's almost like a plane.
Whatever type of drone, it's now making its presence known in Tacoma. Local officials say they've heard of reports of drones seen around the Narrows Bridge, flying over Commencement Bay, and most recently above the Elduin's heads.
It doesn't seem like anybody really knows what it is, and it's happening all over the place.
The Tacoma drones appear to be similar to others popping up in New Jersey, D.C., and beyond. Tacoma's own mystery drone video already has people chiming in on social media.
Somebody asked about what direction they were coming in. Somebody else had asked about why there was no interception. I believe that anything is possible out there.
Somebody's flying these things around, or I don't think they're flying themselves, but who knows what they could be. But yeah, I think we need answers or something from somewhere.
Can you tell me the colors? I don't have my
Captivate the nation. Tonight, we're getting a look at similar sightings reported here in San Diego.
We have heard from people in Chula Vista and La Mesa who've reported seeing them. CBS 8's Brian White has the new details.
With everything that's going on in New Jersey and other parts of the country, more people are looking up to the sky more often. And they're seeing what they describe as large drones, but what exactly they are and what purpose they have, we're not getting any answers.
It's hovering, it's sitting right there.
Mysterious drone sightings over multiple states have led to widespread confusion and growing calls for answers.
Americans are finding it hard to believe. We can't figure out where these are coming from.
It just did a 180 turn.
This video was taken just before 11 o'clock last night by Patrick Ellis in La Mesa.
When it made a 180-degree turn, there was no curvature in the turn. It was just straight. Take your controller, flip, you're on it, and it started heading back in the opposite direction.
There's one right there. And we've received several videos of drone sightings in Chula Vista from over the weekend.
I was able to verify it's not our drone.
Chula Vista Police Captain Miriam Fox is the head of their first responder drone program. I showed her the videos and she checked their flight logs and she's confident it wasn't their police drones.
Not sure what we're looking at in that video. I'm not sure. And it's kind of hard to speculate because you just never know, right? So, but not a police drone.
This is over my house right now. What is that?
As for the mystery baffling not only New Jersey residents, but people all across the country, the government's not saying much, and so people are left to speculate.
Well, I've seen the news coverage, what's going on the East Coast, and it's unusual and very interesting. don't have an explanation for it. So I think, like everyone else, we're all waiting to hear what is actually going on.